So I have a customer who reported a shocking that was happening when they touched their microwave to the stove. Right now I have my meter plugged into the ground socket of 120 volt plug on their countertop. And then when I take the other side of the meter and put it on the surface of the stove, the metal part of the stove, it reads 106 volts. So there's either something internal going on where there's a loose neutral, or there's a loose neutral inside of the plug, or there's damage to the wire from point A to point B. My guess is there's a connection that's bad either on the plug that plugs into the wall or where that cord goes into the stove. But if you ever feel shocking like this and it's something you can recreate every single time, that tells you that it's more than just static shock. Sometimes it's just static to where you're rubbing against the floor and you go touch a piece of metal and that static discharges because it's grounded like it should be. In this case, it actually has voltage on the case of the equipment, which is super dangerous for the homeowners, anybody that's touching this piece of equipment. So I'm going to get into this and see what's going on. All right, back in this range issue where the customer was reading 106 volts to the case from ground. So when they were touching it, they were getting shocked with 106 volts. If you look in here, an appliance company repaired this or replaced this with a new stove. This ground, it's not made up at all. If this ground isn't made up and you don't have a ground, sometimes on these plugs, it's just a 3-port plug. There's not the 4 prongs. Inside the stove, you're supposed to have a bond from the neutral to the case of the stove so that you're not in the situation that they're in right now. So I'm gonna go grab a drill and tap and get this thing tapped back in like it should, and that should hopefully fix the problem. All right, I got the ground screwed back in with a 1032 screw, drilled and tapped. It's really important to drill and tap it, not use a self-tapper screw. When I take my meter from the grounded outlet back to the case here, I'm reading 0 volts. So that fixed the problem. So if you ever have an appliance company come out and they are replacing an appliance and they're using the existing cord, they didn't hook this ground up. They just left it in there. So created a really dangerous situation. So just something to be wary about if you start to feel shocks. If you want an electrician to come out and double check it, it is a good idea because they're not electricians that they send out to install these things. But they also didn't put a bushing inside of here. They just had the wires right against this sharp metal. So put a bushing in, got everything taken care of like it should be, and now we're good to go.